son. What would you like to say about that?
Well, you're going to have to wait to hear what he has to say about that. That was Justin Bieber on the Today Show this morning. He found himself in a he said, she said battle. Mariah Yater says she had sex with Justin Bieber in a Staples Center backstage bathroom last year. She was 19. He was 16. This was now in July. She gave birth to a baby boy that she insists is his. Here, the pop star this morning on the Today Show reacts to that allegation that he is the father. Watch.
Pretty white-hot spotlight, and you found yourself under it recently.
Yeah.
Some headlines, there's someone who's filing a paternity suit.
Exactly.
Saying you're the father of her 3-month-old son. What would you like to say about that?
I'd just like to say basically that none of those allegations are true, and I know that I'm going to be a target, but I'm never going to be a victim. You know, I think it's crazy because every night after the show, I'm gone right from the stage right to my car. So it's crazy that some people want to make up such false allegations, but set the record straight, none of it is true.
All right, so he's setting the record straight. I think there is a way to actually set the record straight. So who's telling the truth here? There could be serious consequences for one or both of them. Joining me to discuss this, Michelle Suskauer stays with me. She's a criminal defense attorney. Mark Edgar Stevens, a body language specialist. He's going to analyze what we just saw Justin do there. And Dylan Howard, senior executive editor, Star Magazine, and senior editor of RadarOnline.com. Dylan, the first sign of those consequences were reported exclusively by you just a few hours ago. What is the breaking news?
Well, there are conflicting reports coming out of the Justin Bieber camp. Whilst he's denying it, other people close to the teen pop star are saying that he has split from his girlfriend of 8 months, Selena Gomez. The Disney star has currently, is indeed in Europe at the moment, where she's hosting the MTV Video Music Awards in Europe at the weekend. There's been no word from her camp at this point, but as I say, very conflicting stories. Bieber's camp denying the allegations that she dumped him, but at the same time, well and truly, the eye of the storm has centered around Justin Bieber as he continues a publicity tour for his forthcoming album.
Now, Dylan, I know you swim in some deep waters out there, so I'm going to ask you to spill. Tell us what you know. I mean, for instance, why is Bieber avoiding the paternity test if this is all nonsense? It'd be very simple to set the record straight, right?
Indeed, and I can tell you tonight, Dr. Drew, that Justin Bieber has engaged a top Hollywood attorney who is acting on his behalf in this matter. Whether or not, though, he does do the DNA test remains to be seen. That is the one piece of evidence that could categorically reject Mariah Yater's claims. If he submits to that DNA test, it will scientifically confirm once and for all whether he is the father of baby Tristan. Whether or not he does that, though, remains to be seen. What we do know is that the court has set down a date for December 15, at which time Bieber must attend court. And I get the feeling, though, and I have no real confirmation on this, but I get the feeling that what would be taking place right now is that this top Hollywood attorney would be maneuvering with Bieber's camp to try and sort this matter out, perhaps before that court date, to avoid a potentially embarrassing scenario dragging on.
By maneuver, you mean a purchase?
No, well, I mean, if it's indeed the case that Justin Bieber is the father of this baby, he may settle the case. What we don't know, though, is whether or not she is telling the truth. Mariah Yater, the court hasn't tested those claims. But what I say is maneuvering, he may submit to a paternity test behind the scenes to sort this out once and for all.
Okay, fair enough. Now, Michelle Suskauer, you are a criminal defense attorney. Help me figure out the legal ramifications of all this for both parties, because he was underage at the time she's alleging they had sex, right?
That's right. Be
what's
careful
that going to mean
what you
for
ask
her?
for.
You're right. If she proves paternity...
Right. That's right. That's right. If you be careful what you ask for, you just might get it. So it's a double-edged sword, literally, because she is, wanting to file this claim or is filing this claim against him, and yet she was 19 and he was allegedly 16 at the time. So she could possibly be prosecuted or definitely investigated for some sort of statutory rape situation, because again, she was the age of majority and he was not. He is a minor. So very, very interesting situation. But certainly what Justin Bieber's lawyers are doing right now is evaluating this, trying to make this go away either by a settlement or by a dismissal, or if this obviously did not happen, by taking a paternity test and making this go away as quickly as possible.
You know, Michelle, one of the things an attorney out here in California told me is that in order to bring these kind of issues to court with, you know, sex with an underage individual, the underage individual has to be willing to testify, and that could be a sort of something that he uses to negotiate. He'll say, I won't testify against you if we put this thing behind us. But, Mark, I wanted to go to you right now.
Sure.
You looked at the footage. You looked at all the footage of him.
Yes.
You looked at what you said on Today's Show this morning. You told me you also studied other footage of.
Yes.
What do you think is going on here? Is he lying is really the question.
Okay, in watching the entire clip on the Today Show, there are certain things that Justin Bieber does that we call body language leakage. Leakage just means when you're showing signs that could be called deceptive. You know, it's shuffling your hands, it's stammering with your voice sometimes.
You're just uncomfortable.
Exactly, exactly. So I had to establish a baseline. So I went back and I looked at 5 or 6 different interviews. He's a 16-year-old kid. This is what he does all the time. He constantly shrugs his shoulders. He stumbles over his words. He's always fumbling. He's a 16-year-old kid. So we look for the default, and the default is he showing signs of guilt, shame, or embarrassment? While he's there with Matt Lauer, and Matt Lauer, by the way, did a very great job because he asked him very pointedly, and he asked him in a way that an authority figure would if he was guilty.
Hold on.
And he shows no...
Even that, let's show that footage up again.
Okay.
Let's put it alongside of Mark here. Or either, come on now, let's get that footage back up. We're see Justin reacting. There he is. So we're going to, do you see him kind of shuffling right now, moving his feet? Hold on a second. Mark, I'm not. Here's what I'm going to do.
Okay.
We're going to look at this right now together and look at him kind of shuffling. He is looking Matt in the eye. He's looking away when he answers the question. He's shifting back and forth on his feet. He shrugs his shoulders. These are all the things you're looking at, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to have you. We're going to go across the break now. I'm going to make my audience wait until we get through this break, and you can tell us, is that all signs of him lying or not?
Okay.
All right. Now next, a closer look at this interview, as we said.